And with that announcement, the teams are on their way back into the gym from the waterfront. Nick Toe running manning the big clock. There he is, Nick Toe. Event 1 for the Stronger Together Challenge. My name's Joseph, by the way, everybody. Welcome into the live stream. We hope you guys enjoy it. If you experience any problems with the live stream, do feel free to let us know in the comments. We will get to them as soon as possible. But first, try refreshing your browser first. Event number 1, as you guys can see on screen right now, is the Burden Run. For time, you have a team run of 800 meters, 30 plank partner burpees, a buddy carry of 200 meters. Any way you can carry your buddy, pick your buddy up and carry him down and back. Team run back to EVF from the waterfront. The only difference is our scale division, who went earlier this morning, has no buddy carry. But our team that is on the way in right now, those guys had to do the buddy carry. Right now, we are looking at Rebecca Mulder and Ashley Meduno from Upper East Side location of EVF. We have Olga and Bielka, who work out here at Columbus Circle. And then we have another team. We have Louisa and Aaron. Louisa and Aaron are our third team. They'll be in here respectively. We'll let you know their lanes as soon as they come in the door. Again, like I said, my name is Joseph. You guys are here with me on the live stream today. Hopefully I will be joined in a few short minutes by my colleague Carissa Muller. She is on her way in, but she's coming in from Queens, and you guys know how that can be. The first event today is sponsored by Gin UCAN. Gin UCAN is a supplement company. They are actually here in-house today, providing supplement samples and stuff. They're over there in the corner. You guys can kind of see their little booth over there. This is the floor that we're looking at. It's divided into 8 sections or lanes, right? You got 4 and 4. The room is divided in half here. Once the guys get in the door today, then they're going to start event number 2, which is the barbell breaker. You can see that on screen right now. Barbell breaker is going to be part 1. One partner does 30 clean and jerks. Then partner number two does 30 snatches. So essentially, one partner is doing Grace, the other partner is doing Isabel at RX weight, which is 135 and 95, 135 for the gentlemen, 95 respectively for the ladies. And in our scale division, it comes down just a little bit. If for any reason you need to switch in the middle of one of these pieces, if you need to switch in the middle of Grace, or if you need to switch in the middle of Isabel, and you cannot complete your assigned task, either you can't do all the 30 snatches, or you can't do all 30 clean and jerks, whatever you were assigned to do, there is a 7 synchro burpee penalty. We have not seen a synchro burpee penalty yet today. I don't think we'll see one for the rest of the day, but it is there just in case. Our first team is back in the room here. Over there in lane 8, we have Louisa and Aaron getting after it. Starting on the clean and jerks. Nice good cycle here. Nice, quick sets of 5. Chalking it back up, she's gonna get back to work. I believe we have another team that is on their way in the door. They should be down the stairs here shortly. We are 2 floors below sea level down here. The objective of the competition today is to finish all 5 events before 90 minutes is up. All 5 events must be finished before 90 minutes. Our first heat was all scaled athletes. They all finished. I think the latest team to finish was 52 minutes. So it's perfectly doable. The RX divisions do have a little bit tougher. The weights are heavier. The movements are a little bit more complicated. Nice work. She's staying right on schedule, keeping with her pace over there. She's got her teammate there cheering her on. Teammate gets a little bit of rest. Nice. Here comes our second team. This is one half of our second team. I'm not sure where the other half is. This is Olga from CrossFit Columbus Circle. She's over here in lane 5. She's going with a drop and go strategy, probably the best strategy for this particular workout in my opinion. Rebecca Mulder just came in the door. She's from the CrossFit Upper East Side. Her partner Ashley is with her. They're getting ready to get started. Looks like Rebecca is going to get started on the clean and jerks. Nice, also a drop and go strategy, probably best advice here, especially in a 90-minute workout. Quick singles will keep you moving. Quick singles will keep you moving. All right, so you can see Olga in the back there still working. Judges today are looking for full lockout at the top and control of the barbell before it comes back down to the floor. We got our third team over there. Louisa and Erin working hard. She's got, looks like 5 reps left. John's hand is in the air. And here comes head coach and floor master Patrick. He's coming to the door from the run. That means everybody's in. One more rep over here in lane 8. Nice work. Now the partner's going to get started on 30 snatches for time. Nice quick touch and go strategy. She's had a lot of rest, so she's probably feeling pretty good about this. Our other teams on the floor are wrapping up their clean and jerks. You can see Olga there in the back and Rebecca here down in front. Nice. Remember, guys, this is a war of attrition. You have 90 minutes to get through this workout. Just because you make it through the first 2 events in first doesn't mean you're going to make it through the last 3 in first. Once our teams wrap up event number 2, time will be called. The master clock still runs, but their score is dependent upon the time that they finished in relation to their other teams. Event number 3 will immediately commence, and that is Burning Hands. 6 rounds for time, 10 box jump overs, 15 toes to bar, and then 20 kettlebell snatches. Only one partner may work at a time. I believe it is split round for round, so you work through a round, then your partner works through a round, then you work through a round, then your partner works through a round. Nice, some good solid hard work going on out here on the floor. Louisa and Erin are nearing the back half of this workout on the snatches. She's gone now down to singles. Using great extension, getting all the pull out of her legs that she can. Nice. We have another team that has moved on to the snatches. Bielka and Olga have moved on to the snatches. They are currently in 2nd place, trailing significantly behind Louisa and Erin. We got a few more reps down here down front. Looks like 3 reps left. 3 more reps. Then Rebecca and Ashley will also move on to the snatches. Nice. Ashley is now going to approach the bar and start working on her snatches. Over here in lane 8. Louisa and Erin about 20 seconds ago got started on the 3rd event. She has finished her box jump over. She's finishing up her toes to bar. Then she'll move on to kettlebell snatches. She'll complete an entire round, then her partner will start the next round. On the toes to bar, we're looking for no tippy tap. That means both feet touch the bar at the same time. Looking for your heels to get behind your body on the way, behind the bar on the way down. Nice. Moved on to the kettlebell snatches now. She has 20 kettlebell snatches. That's 10 on each arm. 10 and 10. Bianca over here on the left side of your screen still working on her snatches. She's going to a single strategy as well. And down front over here in lane number 4, you guys can see Ashley is working hard on these snatches. That bar from the floor, up overhead with control, full lockout at the top, and then come down. This is CrossFit, guys. You do not have to land with your arms locked out, but when you finish the rep before it comes down, you do have to lock out your arms. If you land with bent arms, got to stand it up, straighten your arms out, and then the bar can come down to the floor. Looks like our first place team over here has finished one round of event number 3, in the books. Looks like the lead just continues to grow for them. They don't look tired. They haven't slowed down even a little bit. Nice. Second partner is already on the toes to bar. We're closing in on the 18-minute mark of this workout. 18 minutes. 18 minutes. They have to get through all 5 events in under 90 minutes. We don't expect that to be a problem for most everybody today. Don't really expect any cap outs. Nice work. Still got some good snatches going on over there. Kettlebell and barbell. Nice work. Our east side team over here putting in the work, trying to get through these snatches. Chalking it up. It's sweaty. It gets sweaty in here. You just went for a run. You had to do some burpees in the dirt with your partner. Nice, Ashley's back on the bar. Nice big up from Ashley. Nice work. Third round commencing over here in lane number 8 for Louisa and Aaron. Bianca still chipping away at the snatches. We have 2 judges per lane, everybody. 2 judges per lane. That's 1 for each athlete to make sure we're meeting the standards. It's also just kind of provides a little bit of redundancy, and especially here in a lighter heat where we don't have as many people. Oh, we just got a no rep over there from Coach John for not getting her toes all the way to the bar. It's toes to the bar, not toes in the same zip code. Let's touch the bar. Nice work over here. We've had a change in second place. Rebecca and Ashley have moved into second. Rebecca is starting her first round of event number 3, the Burning Hands. She's finished her box jump overs and she's finishing 15 toes to bar. And then she's going to go to 20 kettlebell snatches. I stand corrected. You can switch in the middle of the round. Just one partner has to be working at one time, the other one is resting. So they've adopted a little bit of a different strategy over here. One person does one full movement, the other one gets on to the next one. So you can see Ashley's doing the kettlebell snatches. Whereas over here in lane 8, still in the lead, Louisa and Aaron looking a little bit more fatigued on those kettlebell snatches at this time. It's only natural at this point in the workout. We're getting close to 20 minutes of this. There's Patrick giving us a quick thumbs up. Bielka's getting ready to close out her snatches. Over here, divided the work in half on the snatches. Now we're back on the box. See if we can close any ground on these girls over here in lane number 8. Look who's here. It's Patrick. Say hello to the people, Patrick.
Hello, everybody. How we doing so far?
We're doing great. We got a heck of a race shaping up here. Our east side girls pulled ahead of our west side girls over here. However, Louisa and Aaron over in lane number 8 are fully in first place. Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah, I think they're on round 3, I want to say, all the way over there.
This has got to be 3 or 4 at this point. Yeah, they are doing really well over there. After this, what comes next, Patrick?
Well, Bielka, so our upper east side team and our Columbus Circle team still need to get to Burning Hands.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like our upper east side team's gotten there.
Yep.
But then our team over there, I believe, is
Louisa and Aaron.
Yeah. So they're moving on to the Triple Bear Complex after that.
Triple Bear. So coming up on screen, guys, you guys can see event number 4 is the Triple Bear. You have 3 consecutive bear complexes for max load. Bear complex consists of 1 ground to shoulder, 1 shoulder to overhead, a back squat, and then a back rack shoulder to overhead. Now, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, you cannot rest the bar on the ground at any point here.
No, it has to be a touch and go clean, and I've told our judges we got to be really strict on that part. The other parts that are pretty lenient is that you can do a squat clean, you can ride this thing into a thruster, so there is some room to work around that barbell once it's moving, but it has to be that touch and go clean if you want it to be one big complex. I don't want anybody resting on the floor for too long.
Yeah, we want to. So you had to get through 3 full complexes for a heavy load, but you can spend as long as you want here, right?
Yes, you can. There's a give and take with that, though. If you spend more time on this Triple Bear, you could win the event, get the highest load of adding partner 1 and partner 2's heaviest lifts together, because that is worth a whole 100 points here. But the disadvantage of taking your time on this is that your overall score, so your 6th score of the day, is your time to complete all of these events. So there will be some strategy involved, and I'm completely sure that all 3 of these teams have a strategy once they get there.
Yeah.
I know at least one of them has practiced this thing multiple times just to figure out what it's going to feel like when they get there and what they're capable of. But yeah, it's going to be a delicate balance. I know our demo team ended up doing, I think, 2 or 3 tries at some different weights. One of the partners ended up doing 3 tries. One of the partners did 2, and they're able to get a pretty decent load in that way.
Nice.
And I think it only took about 5 or 6 minutes until they moved on to the last event.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to spend too much time there, but you do want to take adequate rest in order to get a respectable weight over your head.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be cool. I'd be interested to see what Bielka and Olga are going to be able to put up for this one, but then also that team that's in first place right now, I think they're going to be able to move some weight as well.
Yeah, they're looking pretty strong. I would say, they come out of these events pretty rested, the way they're splitting their strategy up, and they come out pretty blazing. They fatigue a little bit as they go, but for being, 25, 28 minutes into this, these guys are kind of killing it.
They're doing all right. I think they're actually ahead of the pace from our demo team right now. So.
Oh, take that.
Yeah.
Do we want to name names of our demo team?
Names. Well, one of our very own, I'll say our male demo team is our very own Chris Caton, and then also our podcast very own Nick Toe.
Yeah.
They were a little dream team for this one. They finished the whole event just under an hour. It was like
nice.
59 minutes and like 50-some seconds.
Yep.
So I know there's a couple of scale teams that were able to tackle that, but they had some different parameters.
Yes, of course.
There was a team that was flying in that scale division. That was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that, man. We were in the middle of trying to set all this up, hopefully get the stream nice and live for everybody. But I kept watching. I was like, man, those guys are moving really fast. And in 52 minutes, they were done.
Yep. They're flying. I see people on the floor, and I'm like, are they resting? No, they're done. But no, it's awesome. I'm really glad this many people showed up for this. Should be a good time.
Yeah, it's looking great, man. Setup was pretty easy and clean. The event's running really smoothly. You've done a great job, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Done a great job with the setup. Looks like Louise and Aaron are probably getting ready to finish this up, and they're going to be moving on. to the Triple Bear after this. They're starting to split the reps up evenly, so I was mistaken at the beginning of this event. I thought it was one round at a time. You work around, I work around.
So yeah, we thought about that, but we wanted each one of these events to have different elements to it, so different exchanges, different parameters. And this one right in the middle is kind of a nice chunk of reps, but we're going to let people split it up any way they want, let strategy fall into play, and just see how fast they can get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a pretty good job all around. Rebecca and all the way over here, Rebecca and Ashley moving on, getting through another set of toes to bar. It's amazing, like when you do Grace or when you do Isabel, how fast it goes, and then the minute you got to do it after you've run a little bit, it's a lot different.
It's a little different, yeah. And the difference between this first heat and this heat here, why their burden run was a little bit slower, is that this RX division actually had to do a buddy carry along the way. So
it's 200 meters of a buddy carry. When you were out there on the water, what? Did they split that up, or did they just have one person do it all? Or?
Yeah, so I was actually judging our team over here that's in first place right now, and they broke it up halfway.
Okay.
So yeah, one carried the other for 100 meters, and they switched, and then they got the rest of it done. Yeah, it was pretty seamless there. I could hear them breathing pretty heavily. But
Yeah.
I knew that they were going to sprint back in here. They'll be just fine with the barbell. It's just going to be getting through that run event. And just the unknowns, because it is an open course out there, so there were other people running by and stuff going on. So yeah, it was interesting to see how the chips fell in that way.
Yeah.
So
Here we go.
Yeah, they're making their way to the Triple Bear right now.
Moving their way over to the Triple Bears, Louisa and Aaron over here in lane number 8.
Interested to see what they start with. So they have enough plates over there right now, I think, to get to 260 pounds. Doubt that that's actually going to fly up today, but
that would
have
be
the
gross.
opportunity.
That would be gross. If we saw 260, if we saw our female RX division throw up 260, they should probably be competing next weekend.
They should probably be competing next weekend and at nationals for U.S. Olympic weightlifting.
U.S. Olympic weightlifting.
Because they did 3 rounds.
Yeah, because they did 3 reps of a bear complex unbroken. All right, here we go. First attempt. Round to shoulder, shoulder to overhead. Coming. Looks like she's just warming it up.
Yeah, she's just feeling that barbell up a little bit before they give it the full go. Talking strategy.
Yep. So again, you just declare your attempts whenever you're ready. And tell your judge, this is my attempt, this is the weight on the bar, and then you get started on your attempt. It's 3 unbroken reps. Currently on the bar, what is that, 105?
That's what it looks like from here, but they're adding another 10.
Yep, so we're getting up to 125 here.
Interested to see if they just go for 135. That'd be pretty impressive. Oh, nope, they got the clips. All right, 125. Looks like it's going to be the first attempt. Our Upper East Side team over here is trying to finish up that event 3.
Yeah, getting close.
Same with our Columbus Circle crew. Olga over there throwing that kettlebell around like it's nothing.
Oh, here we go.
All right, looks like
overhead
is going first.
There's the squat.
Good.
Bars back overhead. That's 1.
One time through, looking for that touch and go. I think she knows it.
She's gonna adjust her grip at the hip.
Good.
Back up to the rack. She's going with a power clean here. Probably advisable. If it's not heavy enough to squat, then why would you?
Yeah. Save your energy. You got to squat a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna be squatting anyways. Then you got 100 wall balls later, which we'll talk about in a minute.
A successful 2 rounds there. Let's see if she can close this one out.
Again, this is 125 on the bar, we believe. From this distance and through those people, it's kind of hard to tell, but we think it's 125 on the bar. Nice, here we go. All she's got to do is lock out the jerk overhead. Nice work. That's 1 successful attempt.
Nice, 125 on the board for our first team.
Yep. You guys can see Bielka over here has just finished some box jump over. She's headed to the bar for some toes to bar. So Patrick, your max load is going to be combined between the 2 of you, yeah?
Yes, yeah. So again, there's some strategy in play here. Does one partner go really heavy, the other one goes light? I think probably the best strategy here is have both people right in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that kind of just adds up to be the most in the long run anyways, and then also kind of some equal work put in. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. I don't remember how much weight our women's demo team was able to put up. I don't remember that. We do have one
very
of the
unthoughtful of
athletes.
you.
I know, right? I remember the guys, not the girls.
Who were the members of our demo team for our females?
It was our own coach Corey over here, and then one of our Columbus Circle members named Lisa.
Sweet. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Coach Corey over here is the one in the Crocodile Dundee hat.
Yep.
You can see her there with the tattoo on her shoulder, on her arm there.
Yeah.
Looks like our team over in lane number 8, Louise and Aaron. She's trying to get through 125 as well. Same weight on the bar.
Yeah, I do like these athletes are taking their time, 1 rep at a time, make sure they're ready, they're not going to miss anything. And also this gives a good amount of time for your partner to rest as well.
Now, would you say that it's probably easier to re-grip the bar when it's over your head as opposed to on the shoulder or at the hip?
Personally, I would probably bring it down to my hip and re-grip it because I can kind of pinch it in my hip crease.
Yep.
For some athletes that have different limb lengths, that might not be the same story.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of flexibility, I would say do it up overhead, but it's also, as it gets heavier, I think the easiest place to
Is
get
in your
that
hip?
hook grip back would be at the hip. Yeah, at least from my experience.
Because the last thing you want is to explode through a rep and have it slip out of your hands because you couldn't reestablish your hook grip.
Also, get 2 rounds in there and then get a no rep just because you
just
missed
because
one of them.
because you knew you had the power in your legs and your shoulders to get it over your head. You just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just because the bar comes flying out of your hands.
All right, so they're moving up. They're sliding some 5.
Looks like 135. Yeah, coming
Right.
on the bar.
Bielka's
Bielka's wrapping up some snatches over here. Looks like our Eastside team is finished with event number 3. They're going to take a quick little break for some water, and then they're going to hop on the bar and get started on the Triple Bear.
Yeah, right now we're crossing that 32:30 mark right now, 32 minutes in.
Killing it.
I wonder how much time this team's going to spend on this event. I mean, they have plenty of time right now because we still got the Columbus Circle team finishing up. Upper East Side team still needs to submit at least the minimum work requirement.
Yep.
Which for our RX divisions, our RX ladies, the minimum work requirement is just 65 pounds.
Yep.
Which their bars are already loaded to 95 from Grace and Isabel just a second ago. So
They would
I'd
have
be
to,
surprised
they'd have
if
to
they
bring the
go
weight
back
down a little bit.
Yeah, the only scenario I'd see that happening is if they're playing the quick long game, I should call it, just kind of a little. But if they're trying to get to event 6 and just crush this overall time to beat, then that might happen. Yeah, try to give you a little closer look of this Triple Bear complex and just how much fun it can be once you get to that 3rd round. Nice, 135.
Nice.
Looks like a successful lift. I didn't see anything from the judge over there. So.
Yeah, no, successful lift at 135 for the Triple Bear complex. Trying to decide if we want the partner to go again. They're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be right back.
Patrick's over there giving them the rundown of what's going on. Over here in the back, we got Olga still working on some snatches. These guys are wrapping up event number 3. I think I just heard over here on the left-hand side of the room, they were going to take 1 more minute of rest for our Upper East Side team over here, Ashley and Rebecca. They were going to take 1 more minute of rest before they move on to the Triple Bear. You guys can see Olga in the back there. Now Bielka's going to get started on some box jump overs. You guys can see just behind Olga and behind this guy's head, who is kind of in the way. Sorry about that. Our team from lane 8, Aaron and Louisa, they have started the final event, final pull. They established their finish with the 4th event, and they're moving on to the final pull. The final pull, event number 5. 4 time, 100 calorie row, 100 pull-ups, 100 wall balls, 100 calorie row. 1 time through, that's it. You can split the reps however you want to between you and your teammate. You can do 10 calories on the rower, you can do 100 calories by yourself. It's totally up to you. Down here, down front, we got a little bit of action. Rebecca is getting to work on her triple bear complex. Looks like she's loaded up with 125 on the bar to get started. Nice, up and under. There we go, over the head. Squat and a jerk. There we go, the squat. Now she's gonna go up and overhead. Nice job. 1 successful lift at 125. You guys can see the weight on the bar here. 25, and then 2 10s. Ashley gearing up to get ready to go. Here we go, first attempt for Ashley. There we go, bars up and overhead, there's the squat. Full lock out of the top. Nice, now remember she's got to do all 3 of these reps without resting the bar on the floor. She can touch the floor going into the next clean, but she cannot rest the bar on the floor. There we go, nice press out. Here, she gets through 1 more of these, I think they'll probably call it. There we go, nice save on the clean. Up and overhead. Nice job, here's the squat. Here we go, dip and drive. Oh, tragic. Makes it through 2 full rounds of the bear complex, can't finish the last press to overhead. Checking in with our teams in the back here. Louisa and Aaron knee deep into the row. They've had a couple switches at this point. Looks like Bielka and Olga have moved on to the barbell. Nice, she's gonna get started here at what looks like 105. Go. And up and overhead. That's 1. She's got to get through 2 more attempts here. Re-grip at the hip, just like Patrick said. Back up to the shoulder. Up and overhead. All right, here's the tough round right here. She's got to make it through 1 more after this overhead. Gonna reestablish that grip. Here we go. Successful clean. Successful shoulder to overhead. Big time squat. Here we go. Up and overhead for the last rep. Nice. That's a successful complex at 105 for Olga. Tags in Bielka. Bielka looks like she's gonna go at the same weight. You can see there's a 25 on the bar and a 10 on the bar. Girls, Aaron and Louisa making another switch here on the rower in the back. Nice, the split jerk is perfectly legal here. All it has to do is go from your shoulder to up over your head. Nice, here we go. Bielka's gonna try and get this bar over her head real quick. Big breath and up. Nice catch. Nice work. That commotion you just heard was down front over here. Ashley finished a successful lift at 115. Bielka's going for her last squat and overhead here. Nice work. They have moved on, both with 2 successful attempts, or with 1 successful attempt, and they're on the rower. They've pulled even with our Upper East Side team. The race for second is pretty much dead. It's neck and neck here. Meanwhile, over here, Aaron and Louisa have moved on to the final pull. They're off the rower for 100 calories. Now they're trying to accumulate 100 pull-ups between the two of them. Looks like they're keeping it at small, manageable sets. Looks like she has a number in mind she wants to get to before they switch. Nice, here we go. They've switched. Some of our RX males have filtered into the room, getting ready to warm up. After all our ladies finish the final pull, we'll have about 30 minutes of turnover. And then our men will get started. You can see she's adopting a butterfly strategy for these pull-ups. She's using a gymnastics skip to create momentum to get up over the bar. And then she slides under the bar after her chin clears the top of the bar. Both partners going with the butterfly here. Butterfly requires a lot of technique, but it can save you a lot of time and effort. Time under tension will make you slower. Less time you spend working, more efficient you move, faster you go. Our other ladies here in the back, we got Bielka on the rower, and we got Ashley on the rower, trying to wade through 100 calories before they earn the right to go to that pull-up bar. Nice. The butterfly's broken down. She's going to the regular kipping pull-up. There we go. Big sets going down over here on the pull-up bar. Again, this is Louisa and Aaron. After this, they're moving over to the wall. They will have to wade through 100 wall balls next. 100 wall balls. It was test week for us here at EVF this week. And yesterday, all our athletes did Karen. 150 wall balls for time. If you've ever had to do that, you know exactly how that feels and how awful it is. 50 of anything is terrible. Multiply that times 3. Our athletes here are going to be splitting 100 reps probably evenly for the most part. Just depends on the level of fatigue at this point in the workout.
Picking this up.
Patrick's over here taking a break, having a sandwich.
It's so hot outside.
Nice. Louisa and Aaron are finished with 100 pull-ups between the two of them. They have moved on to the wall. You can see her in the back there behind Coach Stephanie, who is judging the row here. She's basically just counting calories, making sure the monitor doesn't turn off, which it's probably not in danger of doing. You guys can see they have to hit the black line up there above the wood. Must reach full depth on your squat on every wall ball and must touch the black line at the top for the ladies. The gentlemen must get above the black line. Well, look who it is. Joined now by Carissa Muller.
Oh man, this microphone's even set up for my height. Thank you.
I know, you're welcome.
That's amazing.
Carissa has finally made it. Carissa, you're handling all the scoring today, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are all up to date currently. Just
Nice.
waiting for this heat to finish.
Sweet. But all of these girls are RX girls, yes?
Correct.
Nice. So, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to watch this heat very much, but so far, Louise and Aaron from lane number 8, who are on the wall balls, have had a handle on the lead, whereas second place has changed hands a couple times between our west side team, Bielka and Olga, over here out of lane 5, I believe it is, and lane 4, which is Rebecca and Ashley. Rebecca and Ashley are over here on the rower, working hard. You can see her over there. It's been nuts. So with, you've done a little bit of team stuff, yeah?
A little bit, yeah.
So you went to the MAC this year on a team.
Yes, correct.
Well, so take this workout. How would you suggest breaking this up, especially from the outset? So you just did the triple bear complex. Legs are probably a little shaky. You're going to be on the rower though for 100 calories apiece. How would you recommend breaking this up for a female team?
Well, it's definitely different since it's female, male, male. It would be a lot different if it was male, female teams.
Yeah.
But probably the row is the biggest place where you're going to make up or lose time. The wall balls sort of take what they take, and pull-ups take what they take apart from rest, right?
Yeah.
So I would try to get my stronger rower to do a majority of the work on the row.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just look for whatever consistent sets you can do on the other two movements. There's no switching penalty in this event.
No.
So I would do whatever sets felt comfortable, tag partner in, and really try to win the event on the row. Of course, that's different if you've got an athlete that isn't particularly good at pull-ups.
Yeah.
So if you need to strategize around someone's exceptional or novice skill on the pull-ups, that might be sort of an exception to that strategy.
Well, so almost neck and neck, our two teams fighting for second place went to the rower, but it looks like our west side team over here has separated themselves a little bit. They have moved over to the pull-up bar. You can see Bielka and Olga over here switching on pull-ups. They're already through, I believe, 2 sets. And just now, Ashley and Rebecca are getting off the row. Ashley is grabbing the pull-up bar and getting started over here on the left side of the row.
Still a lot of workout left, though. I wouldn't really be too worried about it. Most of the other teams are spending 15 to 20 minutes on this workout.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the second row, especially given that they're not really that far apart right now.
Yeah, they're only like 10 to 12 reps, which in 100 reps is going to be pretty close, especially when you get back to that rower.
Yeah, we know Rebecca is particularly good at pull-ups, so we'll see
Yes.
what kind of sets she's going to do over here. That's 3 so far.
Nice. You can hear as the bike's revving up over here, we have some of our RX men getting ready to warm up. You can see Ashley up on the pull-up bar. It looks like they're just kind of going until they have about 1 or 2 left in the tank. It doesn't look like they have a set number. I think Rebecca opened with 8 or 10.
I think she opened with 10.
Yep.
Did you see how many Ashley just got on that one?
It was probably 6, I thought.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're just going.
Yeah, they're
to
just
their
going
field.
until they have about 1 or 2 left in the tank.
Yep.
That's what the judge is there to count. You're just there to kind of breathe and feel your body out and keep moving.
The other interesting thing on a workout with so many reps is your transitions. You know, it could really be a non-factor completely.
Yeah.
You just have an athlete sub right in and pick up where you left off. And if that is your operating procedure, there's really no downside to doing small sets. But if you're going to spend 5 seconds switching between one teammate and the other, that's a lot of time over
that adds up.
100
That adds
reps.
up.
So you really got to be ready to go when your partner's coming off the bar.
Oh yeah, and we are really deep into this workout. Our lead team has switched onto the rower. I think they've already been through 2 switches now on the rower. They are on their final 100 calories, and when they finish this workout, their time from the start to finish of the entire event and the entire competition are 2 separate scores. So there's 6 scores today. There's all the events are scored individually, and then your total time is your final score. Some of our setup team is already moving some stuff out of the way, getting ready for our next heat. There you can see Louise and Aaron, one of them has decided to take some rest on the ground.
Usually I don't advocate that, but I guess in this event, you know, you're sitting there for a minute while your partner's rowing.
May as
so
well. May as well
might
get
as
off your
well.
feet. There comes a quick switch. The nature of this entire competition is pretty unique. I don't think anybody. So Patrick kind of mentioned it on our podcast that he kind of borrowed the idea from an event that's in Michigan that's like 6 hours long or something. It's like
6 hours?
Yeah, your time cap is like 6 hours. He was like, "We'll do 90 minutes," and I was
Is
like,
this a charity event?
"No." Oh, it might be. But he said he kind of borrowed their idea by doing a competition that was over a longer period of time where you have a lot of events and you have a certain time cap to complete all those events, where it's just one running clock, one master clock. So they start the clock down at the river, but Patrick and Nick are on the phone with one another so that the master clock starts here and Patrick is on a stopwatch down at the river. And then when they come into the room, the clock should still be running from when they started the first event. We can see Bielka over here still working on some pull-ups, now switching to Olga. Looks like the lats are feeling it at this point. Oh, wow. So our West Side team had the lead for second place, and now the East Side team has pulled ahead yet again. This is probably our 4th event change, or lead change in as many events. It's making for a relatively exciting ladies competition here in the second heat. They're going to wade through 100 wall balls and try to get to the rower first. Remember, they made it to the rower at the same time as Bielka and Olga, and then they were last coming off the rower, moving on to the pull-up bar. So if they buy themselves some time here on the wall ball, that's going to bode very well for them going into the rower, seeing as they did not do very well in the first row. But that could have been strategy. Maybe they were pulling the pace back a little bit so they can really put the hammer down in the final part of this event. But I don't think anyone is in danger of catching our lead team over here. They have been in the lead since they came in the door from the Burden Run. They were a full 45 seconds, I believe, ahead of the closest team on the Burden Run.
Wow.
And that's not particularly a long event.
No, that's a quick event.
Yeah, I think our scaled heat, the first heat, they had people finishing that event in 7 minutes.
Yeah, 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah. Whereas I think these guys were coming in at like 8 to 9 minutes. 10 more calories over here, John's letting us know. They're almost done. You see her cranking away. 5 calories left. John's got his hand in the air. Last calorie. Total time, 56 minutes and 51 seconds. That's moving. Now, I think our demo team, Patrick said, finished in just under an hour. So they're about 3 minutes faster than our demo team did these workouts. You can see some of the carnage here on the floor from the final pull. Bielka and Olga over here still working on wall balls. They've made it to the wall ball now. Becca and Ashley getting through their sets of wall balls. Any efficiency tips on wall balls specifically?
Well, I am already noticing that Bielka and Olga seem to be a little better at the transitions. They're just hopping right in there, picking up the ball. Ashley and Rebecca seem to be moving a little slower between sets, but they're a lot deeper into the hundreds, so they may be a little bit more tired. But as far as efficiency tips, really not a whole lot you can do to cheat a wall ball. You gotta spot and throw it.
Yeah, I just don't ever I don't ever advocate people who hold it like that far away from their body, who hold it like up over their face or with the, because when your arms are bent like that, like they're working.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with any movement, you're always trying to receive the object in the position that you want to start the rep. So if you're catching the ball way out in front of your body, you got to waste energy bringing it back in, into your body at the bottom of the squat, or you just throw it from a bad position, and that's not good either.
What do you feel about the people who wing it out, who when they let the wall ball go, their arms go out to the side?
Those are my favorite people.
Those are your favorite people in the world?
I love watching those people. Really work hard to save energy.
I just can't imagine that it saves you any energy whatsoever.
No, but it looks cool, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah, I really have other things to think about when I'm doing wall ball. Arm circles in the middle of my reps.
Doing arms.
I do like to concentrate on my breathing, though. That's definitely helpful.
Yeah, and especially in an event like this where you have 100 reps, like anything like double unders or anything that just gets super monotonous or there's a lot of repetitions. What I try to do, I try to turn my brain off. The judge is there to count, right? They're gonna tell if I want them to tell me every 10 reps, every 20 reps where I'm at, I will let them know before I get started. But like I don't want to have to worry about counting when I'm doing this.
It looks like these guys are about to finish.
Yep, Ashley, the judge is in the air, hand is in the air. Rebecca's getting started on the row.
Very nice transition. Man, I definitely feel for anybody who came to class yesterday and did Karen.
I said that a little while ago. I was like, oh man, our classes did Karen yesterday. You know exactly what that feels like. And then you got to split 100 wall balls with your partner. Looks like it's neck and neck. Olga and Bielka are back on the row as well. Can't be more than 2 or 3 calories behind. It's going to be interesting to see who closes out this event in first. It's been a good race so far. You can see on the extreme right-hand side of your screen and on the extreme left-hand side of your screen, we're trying to get them both in there. That way you can see both transitions.
two different strategies right off the bat on the rower here.
Yeah, it looks like Rebecca's going with a much more methodical pull and rest strategy, whereas Olga's pulling for dear life.
Yeah. We'll see what happens over time.
She's been on the rower for long enough for me to assume she's probably getting close to 20 calories. Current time on the clock is almost 61 minutes. We're at 60 minutes and 58 seconds. Our Gin UCAN people are over there. For those of you who are on your way into the gym, they got free samples and stuff over there if you guys want to try any of that stuff. Carissa, you take that stuff.
I do.
Is it any good?
Love it. It's actually not the best tasting stuff out there. I will admit that. It kind of tastes like cloudy water.
A little bit. I will
Yeah.
say they have one flavor that I really like.
The lemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the lemon.
I take the unflavored.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's
But it does mix well with anything else.
it's gross.
No, it works though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
actually only 20 grams of carbs, which is surprisingly low for the amount of energy it gives.
Yeah.
Meaning I have to eat a lot of ice cream at the end of the day to hit my carbs.
Yeah, to hit your carb goal. Oh man, that sounds like a horrible life to live. Meanwhile, I'm going over here going, how much ice cream can I have and not feel sad in the morning?
There's a lot of pulling with the backs going on these rowers.
Yeah, the legs look very dead. Looks
Yes.
like it's very much an upper, above the waist movement at this point, which is not how it's supposed to go. But after all this work, the run, triple bear, the squatting 200 wall balls, 100 wall balls a piece at this point, you know, or 50 wall balls a piece and another row. Legs are probably just toasted at this point. Got some of our male athletes out here on the floor warming up. You may see them come in and out of frame. Bielka's getting the hard work over there. Got a quick transition over here on the rower. Ashley and Rebecca trying to close this workout out. They're going to be well within the time cap. They have about 30 minutes to finish the entire event. I don't think we'll see anybody get capped today. I feel like 90 minutes was a little aggressive. We probably could have added one more event and been closer to 90 minutes.
I think so. Or a 60-minute cap, that would have been interesting.
60-minute cap would have really had to push the pace. It would have put some people in some bad places.
Man, I kind of wish we had a feed of the monitors of these rowers.
Yeah, if we could see exactly how many calories were there, we would know exactly what the race was like. All we know from over here is that it was neck and neck when they got to the rower. Our east side team over here on the left, Ashley and Rebecca, they got to the rower first, but it looks like they picked a much more conservative pace. It looks like a blistering pace over here from Olga and Bielka.
I can't imagine we're getting a whole lot of power per stroke over here, though.
But she is tall. She is the tallest athlete in the field.
She is tall.
So she's gonna get a lot of power per pull, probably the same as the shortest athlete in the field, which I think is Ashley. You can get away with a lot on the rower if you're tall.
Looks like Rebecca's going with the strategy of hardest possible pull and rest,
Yep.
which I don't love.
Yeah, I don't love it either. Personally, I get addicted to rest, so I will sit at the top of that row for 3-5 seconds. That'll turn into 10 seconds. That'll turn into me just going home.
Good work on calories, though.
Yep. Our girls are trying to close out this workout here. After this, we'll take a little break. We'll figure out some scores. We'll come back at the top of our men's heat. Maybe we'll have some more surprise guests drop in. Our lead team finished over 10 minutes ago.
Those are very different times.
Yeah, they were flying.
Transitions on the row are also pretty important.
Transitions on the row are hugely important. You've got to be ready to go.
If you're able to make those fast transitions, you could really do 15-calorie sprints.
Yeah. And it really does all come down to strategy, but at this point in the workout, you've been working out for an hour straight. So the strategy that you thought you had before this event began, you may have to throw out the window by the time you get to the rower for the last row.
Yeah, you really have to understand why you came up with that strategy in the first place. Have good communication so you can adjust quickly on the fly.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to wrap it up over here. A lot of people standing around that monitor on the right-hand side. And that's time. Somewhere around 67 minutes and 20 seconds. That's the end of the race for second. Our girls from the west side over here at EBF pulled it out, second place. Our girls on the east side are trying to finish up over here in the back. What a race. I mean, it's an hour long, but I was pretty interested because it just kept changing hands. Every time I turned around, somebody else was winning. They were moving from one element to the next. Take this time to tell you guys about our event sponsor. So our event sponsor for this event, event number 5, the final pull, is obviously Row House. Row House is our sister brand. She's upstairs. She was started by our very own Eric Froelich and Eric Von Froelich and his wife Deborah. And the company is going nationwide now, so you can find a Row House in a city near you pretty soon. The sponsor of event number 4 is Red Bars. They are also here giving out some samples. If you're in the building or going to be in the building today, they're going to have some free food over there. 1 calorie left, and we're done. That's it. Event number 3, our sponsor is doTERRA. They make what is essentially a topical ointment. Topical ointment kind of treatment stuff like BioFreeze or Icy Hot, any of those, but it's their very own brand and their spin on things. They're here sponsoring us today. Burning Hands, number 3. Number 2 is sponsored by Ascent Supplement Company, the official sponsor of Hard Work. And the first event, of course, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, is sponsored by Gin UCAN. That is it for Heat 2. Carissa, any thoughts?
Well, I'm looking forward to this next heat. We've got, I think, 7 teams competing.
Yeah, 7 teams. It's going to be a little bit. The floor is going to be a little bit more crowded.
A little bit more crowded. Lots to watch. Lots of people to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Lots of different strategies to talk about. So, looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me here in the broadcast booth. That is the jerk blocks that we're standing on. And we'll be back in a little bit, guys. You guys can just hang out here to the ambient sounds of the room, or you can check back with us in about a half an hour when our next event starts. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys can hear us. It's Joseph again, here with Carissa.
Hi, everybody.
She's going to be with me for the entire event. It's going to be awesome. So our last heat today, which is all RX males, they are currently on the Burden Run. You guys can see that on screen if you missed it in the first part of the broadcast. Event number 1, the Burden Run, 4-time. You have a team 800-meter run, 30 plank partner burpees, a buddy carry of 200 meters, and then another team run back to EVF, which is about 600 or 700 meters. We're not really sure. Somewhere in there. The scale division, who went earlier today, they had no buddy carry. So our team should be coming back in the next couple minutes. What do you think? What do you think these guys are going through on the Burden Run right now?
It's very hot outside, so I think that's probably the greatest burden they're dealing with.
Yes.
Trying to move fast. There's also a lot of teams in this heat, so I don't know. It could be tempting to come out a little hot, push the pace on the Burden Run.
Yeah, and they do have each team has a rubber band, and they like a resistance band, and they have to hang on to it, so they're like almost like attached to the hip.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, so you can't run a lot faster than your partner. You guys have to run together the whole time. Nice, our first team is back in the room. We've got over in lane 7.
Yeah, they're sweaty.
We have just one name on the list for them. Not a first name, just a name, Morrow. So from here on out, they will be lane number 7.
Team Morrow.
Team Morrow. They're the shirtless ones over there. Everybody else is filtering here into the room. We got lane 6, lane 8, lane 2. Everybody's in now. Everybody's getting started here. Event number 2 now on your screen, which is what these guys are working on. Event number 2 is partner number 1 does 30 clean and jerks. Basically Grace at 135 for our men. Then partner number 2 does 30 snatches, or Isabel for time. If at any point you need to switch, there's a 7 synchro burpee penalty. So say I'm completely exhausted and I can't finish my 30 clean and jerks. My partner has to step in and help me. Before he can grab the bar, we have to do a 7 burpee synchro penalty before he can grab the bar and help me. And then if I need to help him finish the snatches later on, then we have to do another 7 burpees before we can go into that. Starting on this side of the room, over here in lane number 2, we have Michael Gillespie and Andrew O'Rourke. In lane number 3, our very own Roy Lambert and Zach Heineke. I hope I'm saying that right. Heineke. In lane number 4, just in front of them, closest to your screen here in the blue, is... Gotta look a little closer. Matthew Comite and Dante Rebello. On this side of the room over here, starting in the back left corner, lane number 5 is Justin Sierra and David Yanelli. And lane number 6, just in front of them, here in the gray shirt, their judge has on the purple shorts here, is Ryan and Cody. Team Morrow over there in lane 7. And then finally in lane 8, in the blue shirt on the far right-hand side of your screen, is Zach Leverins and Steven Marcano. All these teams getting to work on 30 clean and jerks here. What kind of strategies are you seeing here, Carissa? Are you seeing any touch and goes, or is it all drop and go?
Well, pretty much most of these guys came in and tried to blow out a big set of touch and go reps, which seemed like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Given especially how slowly they were cycling those touch and go reps.
You're gonna have a bad time. If you come out too hot, you're gonna have a bad time.
See a lot of hands on knees already. So.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are bent double over, maybe overestimated a little bit. The good news is your partner is getting a ton of rest right now. So even with that much rest, let's say it takes you 3.5 to 4 minutes to get through Grace under this level of fatigue. Do you think your partner comes out on Isabel and does touch and go sets even though because they're rested, or would you advise to drop and go as well?
Well, you have to be a little careful because the event after this is very grippy. You got toes to bar and kettlebell snatches together, so you don't want to come out too crazy. That being said, after 3 minutes rest, 2 assuming you're pretty good at snatches and cycling the barbell, I think you can get away with one touch and go set, maybe two.
Yeah.
Falling into really quick singles. I like these guys right up here in the front, lane number 4. They came in right away. He just started doing singles. He's pretty much been moving at the exact same pace the entire time. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, and I recognize that face. That's Matt, I believe, and he has been with us for Battle of the Fittest on a couple of occasions. Battle of the Fittest is our competition we throw every February, I guess.
Winter time.
Yeah, winter time. We do it here in-house. We got a group over here in lane number 2 that is already on the snatches. You guys can see that. They've already moved on. Isabel. Going with a no-contact snatch. Another bold strategy.
Very helpful as a drill.
Yes.
Probably not so helpful if you're trying to do Isabel.
You really want to get that bar into your hip, folks. You really want to get as much drive with your legs out of that as possible. We have another group over here in lane number 7 who has moved on to snatches, and lane number 6. Both have moved on to snatches. That's the shirtless guy in the back and the guy in the blue down here in the front.
Now, these boys are super sweaty already.
Super sweaty. Sweaty Betties. Most everybody has moved on to the snatches at this point. Our group down here in the front is working on 3 more clean and jerks. They're from Solace, as their shirts will indicate.
No bullshit since 2014.
Since 2014, no BS. I love that Roy chose to wear his aerodynamic pants today. All the teams doing pretty well moving through these events. As soon as these 30 snatches over with, we're moving into event number 3. Event number 3, which is on your screen right now. 6 rounds for time. 10 box jump overs, 15 toes to bar, 20 kettlebell snatches. The only rule here is that one partner has to work at a time. You must switch by slapping hands. Slap hands. So you do not have to do a full round. You can have one person do the box jump overs, then you go immediately into the toes to bar, and then switch back for the kettlebell snatches. Or you can switch everything up even. You can do 5 and 5, 8 and 7, and then 10 and 10 on the snatches to finish it out. However you want to get through this workout. As Carissa alluded to earlier, it is going to be a very grippy event. Our team that came in first off the run over there in lane number 7 is already finished with their first set of box jump overs. And you can see he's already back up on the bar. That is Team Morrow, as we're affectionately referring to them as. This event is sponsored by doTERRA. Again, guys, this doTERRA, they do topical ointments. Got to get through 15 toes to bar back there. You guys can see the work. 15 toes to bar. He's moving on to the kettlebell for his first set of snatches. He's got 20 snatches. Carissa, you alluded to this earlier, but it is called burning hands, this particular workout. It's going to be pretty grippy, yeah?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty grippy. I see most of them are tying on their grips. This Team Morrow, his partner's taking a real long time to put those grips on.
Yep.
Get ready to go. It's an interesting strategy they're using already. Looks like this guy's doing the entire round. Presumably they're going to switch at the end of this round.
We'll see if they maintain that strategy for all 6 rounds. It may be everybody's. It may be the old Mike Tyson reference where everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. You guys can see we got a couple other teams moving on to the box jump over. That's lane number 5 over there. Moving on to the box jump over. The guy in the gray shirt there. Lane number 5 is Justin and David. They're having a quick powwow over at the toast, over at the rig. Nice. Everybody else wrapping up these snatches out here on the floor. We got our team that came out kind of hot and has now held their pace pretty well. Lane number 2, they're on to the event number 3. Look at the speed on these box jump overs. Good Lord. Oh, he's already done. I couldn't even get the camera around.
Woo, it's so far fast too, so don't worry.
Yikes. Somebody get the fire extinguisher. This guy is on fire. But remember, folks, if you come out too hot, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time. If you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. Now he's working on the snatches. That's lane number 8 over there. Lane number 8 is Zach and Steven.
A little questionable lockout on those snatches, Joe.
Yeah, I know. His arm isn't quite close enough to his head. We'll see what the judge lets that fly. He's getting his arm extended. It's just not very close to his body.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from over here.
Team Morrow over there getting through another set of box jump overs.
I think they're on round 3 now.
Yeah, lane number 5 over here. These guys are just transitioned to another set of box jump overs. Lane number 5 is Justin and David. Lane number 6 just in front of them. Moving on to event number 3 is Ryan and Cody. Back over here finishing his last snatch. That's Matt and Dante. Roy and his teammate, Roy is in the virus pants over here with the red bottom. He's moving on to some snatches. His teammate Zach, these guys are into event 3, a couple rounds in. Got some toes to bar going down over here, rep for rep. Quick transition and switch. Now, Carissa, this isn't very high volume toes to bar. Are you a bent knee kind of gal, or do you keep your legs relatively straight on these toes to bar with low reps like this?
Personally, I do a little bit of a hybrid.
Yeah.
I keep my legs super straight through the kip, and I bend them at the top just to keep the range of motion a little bit shorter. Yeah, you can bang out some quick bent knee reps
Yep.
a lot faster, but definitely more fatigue on the core.
Yeah, the midline's going to start to go.
I don't know if I would use that strategy with all the rowing coming up later.
We saw some interesting strategies play out in the last heat that really kind of came back to bite some people on the rower. The kettlebell snatch, you do not have to switch arms every repetition, unlike the dumbbell snatch. And you don't have to touch the floor. Treat it like a swing. There we go. We just had a no rep over here on some snatches. Not getting the bell close enough to your ear. Coach John with his hand up, last couple reps. Nice work. Tags his partner in over there in lane 5. Slowed down a little bit on the box jump over here in lane number 8. Carissa, have you been watching Team Morrow, or are they sticking with their round for round breakup, or are they breaking it up in the middle of the rounds now?
They're sticking with the alternating round strategy. Interesting. I don't know if that's the strategy I would use on this workout. And it actually looks like most teams are using that approach. Just do a whole round, rest for a whole 2 minutes while your partner's working, and then go again.
We're currently just over 20 minutes into this workout, actually almost 21 minutes. We're at 20 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. A lot of guys out here working on the floor, trying to get through these 6 rounds of event 3. Team Morrow looks to still be in the lead. It's hard to tell. But after this, they're going to move into event number 4, which arguably is probably, in my opinion, the worst event that they're going to do today. Event number 4, sponsored by Red Bar, by the way, is the Triple Bear. You have to get through 3 consecutive bear complexes for the heaviest possible load. Your load and the load of your partner will be tallied together for one weight. That will be your score. The bear complex consists of 1 ground to shoulder, 1 shoulder to overhead. Then you bring the bar to your back and you squat for 1 back squat. Then the bar comes from the back rack behind your neck to over your head again to finish the complex. From there, you have to do that again twice more without resting on the ground. That is the pain of this event, is that every time you do a rep, every time you get through a complex, before your third, you cannot rest the bar on the ground. You can rest overhead, you can rest on your shoulders, you can rest at the hip, but you cannot rest on the floor. Nice. You can see some pretty good technique on these snatches, keeping that elbow nice and tight, using the hips to drive the weight over your head because your shoulders aren't going to last that long, and you're going to need your lats when you get up to that pull-up bar for the toes bar.
I would say Team Morrow definitely appears to be moving very well.
Yeah, they're moving very well. They look very efficient, taking breaks when they need it, but it's never too long. Me personally, I probably would have already called it quits and gone home.
I don't know if that's true, Joe.
We got our team in lane number 8 down here, and lane number 6, who's up on the pull-up bar there doing toes to bar. Lane number 6 is Ryan and Cody again. Lane number 8, who is working on the snatches, that's Zach and Steven. Back over here on the left side of the room, competition is pretty much as it was. It looks like our competitors in lane number 2 may have pulled forward a little bit. They came to the pull-up bar first, slowed down a little bit, and it looks like they pulled ahead again. You can watch the fatigue. If you let that bell flop over your hand and catch on that side really violently, it's going to make you feel even worse than you already do. You got to be efficient with that kettlebell or else it just gets worse. You can see down here in the front part of your screen, there was a little bit of press out on that first rep. That may come back to bite you. It looks like Team Morrow has finished event number 3 and is moving on to event number 4, the Triple Bear. Oh no, they still got 1 working, but it's probably the last round because his partner has put his shirt on, which tells me they're probably about to do a bear complex.
Sounds about right, Joe.
Would you, do you think that's a good strategy, is going with keeping the shirt off for most of the workout, and then when you get to the barbell, the heavy barbell, you put the shirt back on?
Very important to contemplate when to take the shirt on and off.
Yes, it's very important.
I do think it's smart to put a shirt on for the barbell workout.
When do you pop the top, and when do you leave it on?
I think you got to go out for the run with no shirt on. It's way too hot out there.
Yeah, it's really hot today. It's low 90s out there with pretty high humidity and not a lot of wind. It's pretty hot out there on the waterfront. They're running on the Hudson River. We're sorry we couldn't bring you that coverage, but we're just not that cool yet.
No drones yet.
No drones yet. No live stream capable drones yet.
Yet. Now taking sponsors, though, if anybody would like to sponsor the purchase of a drone.
Yes, if anyone would like to sponsor the accessory movement, we'll start a Patreon account, whatever we got to do. You guys can start sending us some money and we'll bring you better coverage. Nice, it looks like Team Morrow has just finished. You can see Lola in the blue shirt over there rolling their barbell forward. That tells me they're probably about to get ready to start attempting a bear complex. There's 135 already loaded on the bar from the previous event. It looks like they're fixing to load 155 onto the bar. Do you have any predictions on heaviest weight that we might see on this lift today?
I think you're probably going to see some heavy weights. They've got plenty of time. They're still well ahead of the other teams.
Oh yeah, we're 26 minutes into this workout.
I feel confident about that last event. There's no reason not to spend the time here.
Take the rest. Take the rest.
Yeah.
You know, take a minute and a half, and then get ready to go. And plus, the other partner is going to start first on the bar. He's been resting for the last 2 minutes anyway.
They're already warm from the event prior, at least up to 135. So
Yeah.
there's no reason to start any.
You could already
below that.
start at a medium but achievable weight.
Yep.
Just to make sure you get a score on the board. Our demo team who did this, they went with the old the powerlifting meet technique.
What's that, Joe? 3 attempts?
3 attempts. One that you know you can hit, one that you hit on a good day, and one that you may or may not hit.
I think I might skip that 3rd attempt given the remaining events.
Yes. Oh, here we go. First attempt of the bear complex. Quick touch and go over there. Up and overhead. Back down. This is his last rep through. This is 155, 165 looks like. Nice. That's a successful attempt at 165 for Team Morrow over there.
That looks pretty easy.
Remember, it's we were talking to Patrick earlier, and he said that the strat here was probably not to have one person go heavy and one person go light, but everybody kind of be a little bit medium here in order to get the best possible score. Now, that does depend on your partner's abilities. So say Carissa and I are matched up together. She's probably going to lift more than me. So I got to get close. I got to get close.
Do you though? It's 1 score for the workout.
Yes, but it's combined between the two.
Ah.
So it's your heaviest load plus your partner's heaviest load put together. There we go. Teammates working through 165 now.
No shirt here.
Yep, no shirt. Bold strategy, Cotton. Teammate might not be excited about that when he gets back to the bar and it's really wet. Technique looks solid. Nice, here we go. Last jerk overhead for this rep. Nice, that's a successful attempt. They both have a successful attempt at 165. They're probably gonna change the weights on the bar. Check in with some of our other people here, some of our other competitors, lane 6. These guys are knee deep into event number 4. Sorry, 3, burning hands. Nice, we got a couple teams over here on the left side of the room getting ready to load up the bar to start their bear complex. Specifically lane number 2 over here. Lane number 2 is Michael and Andrew. They successfully sustained their lead on this half of the room. They're going to start shirtless. That'll be over here on the left-hand side of your screen. He's got 185 loaded on the bar.
Yikes.
We assume everybody's tested these workouts. Looking smooth for 185. If they spend very little time here and only do 1 attempt per person and get a decent score, they could really close the gap on that first place team who's taking a little bit more time. Looks like the first partner over there just completed a set at 175. First partner over here getting through his second set of this bear complex. Split jerk is legal. It just has to get from the shoulder to over your head. He's got one more. Big power clean here. Nice split jerk. Oh, that's where that shirt would have come in handy. Up, oh, last jerk overhead.
Gotta jerk this weight.
Oh, nice job. Good control of the weight and everything. 185.
I'd walk away right there.
Heck yeah, I would take that and run with it. Over here, they're down a little bit on the weight. They did one partner at 175. They got another partner, looks like he's working at either 175 or 165. It's hard to tell from here, but you're already 10 pounds up. Looks like Roy and his partner are finishing up their last round here on event number 3. Michael and Andrew working. One of them is on the bar here getting ready to go through his bear complex. That is one successful lift. Going through his second now. He's going to re-grip the bar. A little suicide grip to get it overhead. Re-wraps the bar. Nice. Take your time with that barbell. Stand there with it on your back all day. Nice. That's two. Got to get through one more here. They will have successfully closed the gap if they move on right after this lift. They look to be still both 10 pounds up on either of their closest competitors. Across the floor over here, they're still at 175 on the bar, looks like. Nice, that's 185 complete for both of these guys down here in lane 2. That's Mike and Andrew again. It's hard to tell. It may have been 185 for Team Morrow over here, but they have decided to call it quits on that event, and they've moved on to the rower. But same thing with Mike and Andrew. They've moved on to the rower. They've officially closed the gap of what was a very significant gap from the beginning of this workout. Really kind of changed the workout here for them to just do one attempt each on this bear complex and be successful.
Yeah, put them in the running for an overall final time score as well as a time for this event 5. Not a bad idea. Not
a bad idea at all. Looks like lane number 8 over there has moved on to the rower as well. They're on the far corner. Lane number 6 in the middle, his bear complex here, that's 155. Looks like one successful lift. Got 185 going up over there in lane number 5. That's the one towards the back of the room over there, towards the wood paneling, towards the rowers. You can see he's working on 185 with it on his back, squats and stands up. Up and overhead, back to the rack. Looks like he's got one more rep here. Setup team is moving some of these barbells out of the way for the rest of the workout. Final squat for that lane number 5. Nice control overhead and a good rep at 185. Seems to be the number today is 185. If you're running a little bit behind, it might behoove you to just throw 195 on the bar, give it a shot, see if you can make it happen, and then move yourself over to the rower. We have 1, 2, count them, 3 teams on the rower now. So at this stage in the workout, Carissa, your legs are probably feeling it a little bit, but you're going to be feeling it really, really bad towards the end of this final piece, which is the final pull. We got 205 fixing to go up over here in lane number 5.
I think that's the highest weight we've seen so far.
That would be the highest weight that we have seen go overhead today. Event number 5, which some of our teams are already on here. You can see it on screen. That's a 100-calorie row for time. 4-time 100-calorie row, 100 pull-ups, 100 wall balls, 100-calorie row. You split those reps however you want to between you and your teammate. Here we go. 205 in the back, going up for 1. Push press. That's a bold strategy. Oh, he didn't make it. Slipped off his back. Should have wore that shirt, Carissa.
Should have put that shirt back on.
Should have put that shirt back on. Looks like lane number 6 down here is loading up a little bit more weight. They're going to keep going up. Lane number 4 down here in front of the booth. They're at 155, looks like, on the bar. Getting ready for an attempt at this triple bear complex. Right behind them is our own Roy Lambert from CrossFit Columbus Circle. Looks like he's loaded up, I believe, it's either 155 or 185. We have some skinny 25s in here. It's hard to tell. We're looking at 165 on the bar. 165. Nice, up and overhead. There's the squat. Up overhead, that's one full rep. Got to get through 3. You can see our team from lane number 2 over there on the rower. They're knee deep into 100 calories. Just behind them on the left-hand side of the screen and down front, we're going to have somebody make an attempt here at 165 as well. Roy's got to get through one more here at 165. Lane number 4, Matt and Dante here working on 165 as well. Roy got through 165 successfully. He's moved on to the rower. Oh, that's tragic. Get through 2 of those. Here we go. We're going to make this attempt at 205 over here with Coach John.
This is his
In
last
lane
go.
number 5, last one. He's got to make it through this squat and overhead. Comes out of the hole successfully. Here we go. This will be the test. Nice, beautiful control overhead. That looked effortless.
Nicely done.
Like it wasn't even tired. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 5 teams on the rower. There's 2 teams still on the field. Our team in the lead, Team Morrow over there from lane number 7, they have moved on to the pull-up bar. Going with a butterfly strategy here. Carissa, what do we always say with gymnastics when it comes to high volume work?
What do we always say?
Always leave one in the tank.
Always leave one in the tank.
Don't go to failure on the high volume gymnastics, people.
Well, I think this guy's starting off. I think he's at 30 now.
Yeah, he's almost through 30 pull-ups. He looks great, but it might come back to bite him later.
He is done with his grit pretty much, though. It does need a little bit of rowing, but
Yep. We have another team onto the pull-up bar. That's lane number 8 over here down in front. Oh, we got 2 more teams. Well, no, that's the same team. So lane 7 and 8, that's Team Morrow. And then lane number 8 is Zach and Steven. They're moving at a pretty quick pace with quick transitions here. Team Morrow, much slower transitions on the pull-up bar.
this guy's doing pretty big sets. They've clearly got one athlete that is better at gymnastics and one athlete that's a bit bigger. So,
Just stack your team. We have another attempt at a bear complex going down here at 175. That's Zach. He's working on 175 here. 2 10s on the bar, plus 2 45s. Questionable bounce rep there with the elbows bent. We'll take it, though, under this level of fatigue, I suppose.
I don't know if that's a standard today. Let's see.
Dip drive up and overhead. That's 2. He's got to get through 1 more. Oof. Comes all the way down to the hip. Almost loses the bar. Maintains his grip. All you got to do is get to his shoulder. Oh, that's tragic. You make it through 2 full rounds. How unfortunate. Meanwhile, lane number 2 has moved into the fold here. They're finally off the rower and hitting some pull-ups up. That's Michael Gillespie and Andrew O'Rourke. It's hard to keep that butterfly under fatigue if you don't have it down pat.
That's smart. He switched right to kipping.
Switched right to the kipping. As soon as he lost that butterfly, he went right back to the kip.
Team Morrow on the wall balls.
Team Morrow has moved on to the wall balls, Chris has noticed. Here in the very back, you guys can see them behind the rowers over there. Purple shirt, tank top, getting to work. Gentlemen have to be above the black line. Above the black line. Our ladies just had to hit the black line. Our gentlemen have to be above the black line, which is 10 feet. They're throwing a 20-pound wall ball to a 10-foot target, normal standard. That's tough. We got our second team moving back over to the wall balls. That's lane number 8. They've closed the gap. They're about 20 wall balls behind. they can stay consistent here, they have a good chance of catching Team Morrow on the row. Make sure you get to full squat depth on your wall balls, people. Every time you miss squat depth on a wall ball, a kitten dies. We don't want that blood on your hands. Very back of the room here, you guys can see we have a few teams who are on the row, and then we have 2 teams who are working on the wall balls. You got to get through 100 reps, 100 calories on the rower, 100 pull-ups, 100 wall balls, and then you're back on the rower for 100 calories to finish out this workout. This workout is sponsored by Row House, our upstairs neighbor. They're a rowing gym, so naturally you got to row 200 calories. You guys can see the left half of the room over here still working on some people on the row. We got our guys in lane number 2. They've moved onto the wall ball. They're probably about 50 or 60 reps behind on the wall ball now, but they're solidly in 3rd place with nobody really threatening at this point. Our team from lane number 6, Ryan and Cody, they have moved on to the pull-up bar over here. On the right-hand side of the room, they got to get through 100 pull-ups between the 2 of them. That's probably our tallest team in the room. There's a lot of length over there. There's a lot of limbs. A lot of limbs. So Carissa, as having competed as a team member at the MAC, and you were an alternate at the games in 2017?
2016.
2016. You were an alternate for a team at the games in 2016. Wouldn't you say that communication is probably the one thing that's going to get you through this workout the easiest?
Most likely, especially given, as you were mentioning earlier, the length of the workout. It's kind of hard to predict how you're going to feel minute 50. So you gotta be able to communicate, know each other's strengths and weaknesses, read each other a little bit, understand why you came up with your plan in the first place so you can quickly adjust as you need to.
We have some of our athletes from the first heat filtering back in to see who's going to win. Carissa has done all the scoring, so she already knows. But we can't tell you here on air until we announce it to everybody else. We got our guys from lane number 4. That's Matt and Dante. They've moved on to the pull-ups as well. Mike and Andrew back there on the left-hand side of your screen, shirtless, working on the wall balls, still solidly in 3rd place. It'll be interesting to see how some of these strategies play out, because even if you finish behind another team, if you won more events than they did over the course of the hour and a half or however long it took you to do this workout, you're actually going to come out on top, even if it took you longer to get through this entire workout. Currently at the 45-minute mark, which is kind of staggering when you consider that Team Morrow over here and our guys from lane number 8, Zach and Steven, are on the final 100-calorie row. They are going to probably smash the fastest time that we have seen today. Some of these pull-ups are breaking down. We got people scaling down on the pull-up to the regular kipping pull-up. It's bound to happen. Kind of interesting over here, Carissa, on that first rower, which is for lane number 2. Woo! We're seeing a little bit of an opposite strategy from the first heat that we broadcasted today, where we're not using any back at all.
Lots of legs left in this workout for this team.
Yep. So you can see, guys, he's rolling through the foot a little bit there, and he's kind of sitting he's not rotating his posture or his torso from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Sitting up tall is going to force him to drive a little bit more with his legs, and the fact that he's on his toes for most of the pull means that his quads are working a lot, and the wall ball is already a front-weighted movement. So you're already putting yourself in a disadvantage when your quads are burnt out from the wall ball, and then you get back to the rower and you're just going to use your quads until they die. We got our west side team. We got Roy and his partner Zach. They finally made it over to the pull-ups after the bear complex. Roy with some good-looking butterfly pull-ups there. Looks like he's getting a lot of kip out of that, which is great. He doesn't have to use his arms nearly as much. See the race over here between them and the guys from the lane in front of them. Matt and Dante from Solace. CrossFit Solace here in New York City over there on like Flatiron area. Looks like some of our teams are in the final few sets of calories here on the rower. Be interesting to see who comes out on top, who's got the legs left for this last 100 calories. Lane number 2 has a fighting chance. Lane number 8 in the back corner over there has a fighting chance, and lane number 7, Team Morrow, they have a fighting chance as well. It's really anybody's game at this point. Team Morrow made it to the row first, followed by lane number 8, which is Zach and Steven.
Got 5 reps left.
5 reps left over there. She's got her hand in the air. 2 calories. Time. 49 minutes and 24 seconds.
That's fast.
Wow. That is fast.
They were just in the lead the entire time.
They were. They started with the lead. They came in the door with the lead, then they didn't let it go. Now the fight is for second. We got lane number 2 on the far side of the room here, and on your screen you have over there on the right-hand side still rowing is lane number 8. Lane number 2 is Mike and Andrew. Lane number 8 is Zach and Steven. You can hear that chain slapping over there because he's pulling so hard, but is it really helping? Probably not.
He's definitely not in his last couple calories, so I'm not sure if that's the best idea at this point. But we've seen that athlete try to go as fast as possible.
On every possible movement. He's very much a sprint and rest kind of guy.
Yes, he likes his intervals.
EMOMs are his jam. Over here we still have our team from lane number 2 fighting to get back into the race. The podium is right here. Nice, that's time for lane number 8 over there. They just finished up. Somewhere in the area of 50 minutes and 48 seconds, I believe. So that's your first and second place on the total finish. Once all the events are completely tabulated, we'll be able to tell you who's going to win, but we're pretty sure that Team Morrow led the whole way, so they're probably going to win. They didn't have the heaviest lift we saw today, but they had heavy enough. And that's all part of the strategy, isn't it, Carissa? That's being able to say, well, we may not throw up the heaviest weight today, but if we win every other event, you win the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just one event, so as long as you don't come in last.
Yeah, just don't stand back. Who we got still working? We got lane number 5 still working over there. Looks like 4 reps left on the wall ball, and then they're going to transition into their last. That's lane number 6. They're going to transition into their row.
We've got arm circles going on over here. I was hoping we'd see.
Oh, hooray! Arm circles. There they are, everybody. Hey, if they work for you, keep them.
Whatever works.
We don't understand them, but if they work for you, it's all fair game.
Keep doing it.
Oh, collapse at the bottom of that wall ball there. So that's Zach getting ready to work on the in the wine-colored pants there, and the blue shirt over there. That's going to be Matt and Dante working. And on the far left of your screen here, you can see our current third-place team trying to close out their last 100 calories on the row. Again, that's Mike and Andrew. Nice, that's time for lane number 2, Andrew and Mike. That's going to be somewhere in the area of 53.5 minutes. They're solidly in third place for their total finish, not overall finish. Total finish meaning how long it took them to finish all 5 events. Overall finish is going to be once we tabulate all the scores, including times from the other events. And the heaviest weights for your successful bear complex. Got a couple guys still working on wall balls. That's Roy there on the right, shirtless. So Carissa, for Team Morrow over here, do you think it was anything special that they did strategy-wise, or were they probably just fitter?
I think probably they're just fitter. They move very well, so that certainly helps their fitness. They don't need to expend a lot of wasted energy, which is important in a long workout like this, right?
Yeah.
It seems like they're pretty close too. They communicated pretty well throughout the event. They had a game plan for everything. For the most part, their game plan worked. They didn't have to change their strategy too much, so that probably helped in their favor as well.
Yeah, I feel like they shared the load very well too. I feel like they were pretty even on all the events as far as who was doing what. Of course, they had the one who was just infinitely better at pull-ups than the other, but it didn't seem to affect the workout too much, and everything else seemed pretty even across the board.
No, I was actually pretty impressed with the way they approached that event, especially so deep into the 60-minute time frame. Clearly, the one athlete had bigger sets of pull-ups than the others, but clearly the other athlete was a little bit better on the row. So they definitely strategized that workout well for the two of them.
Plan for your skill set and for your body type.
Yep. One of the things that I think is hard as an athlete, especially when you're in a field of like lots of other people doing their thing, is to stay in your own game. Everyone talks about their strategy like it's the best strategy out there, but it's not. It's the best strategy for you. So if you're confident in what's going to work for you, it can be difficult to ignore what other people are doing or what other people are telling you to do. I thought it was they did that well.
Yeah, that's true. You get a lot of outside voices telling you, oh, well, I think it would work best this way or that way, and that's part of our job is to sit up here and say, well, that row technique doesn't look too great, but whatever's working, just keep those calories moving, but whatever keeps working for you. Some of our teams from earlier in the day filtering back into the building here to watch the award ceremony. Stay tuned after this. We'll take a short break as we tally the scores, and then we'll bring the award ceremony to you live. Hopefully we'll get to interview maybe our first place RX male and female team before they get out the door today. Just ask them a couple questions. Last few calories over here on the row on this side of the room. Judge's hand is in the air. 1 calorie done. 57 minutes and 4 seconds. That's lane number 6, I believe. Lane number 6 is Ryan and Cody. Lane number 5, Justin and David are still working hard. Lane number 4, Matt and Dante still working on their row over here on the other side of the room. As well as Roy and Zach from lane number 3. They're still working on their row as well. It's hard to tell, but it looks like I can just see Roy's monitor, and I think that's a 7. I think they're in the 70.
Nice job, Joe.
Somewhere in the 70s for their calories on the rower. I can see that he's rowing at about 1,200 and 1,300 on average from here, which is pretty cool. That's pretty good for this stage of the workout, if you ask me. You notice a lot of these athletes are, when they switch off, they're getting off their feet. They're sitting on the floor, sitting on wall balls, sitting on benches, anything they can find to not be on their feet before they get back on that rower, just to rest their legs a little bit. At this point, you've been pumping blood through your body at a pretty rough pace for the last almost hour of your life. We're looking at 58 minutes on the clock here. Again, our demo team did this in 59 minutes and some seconds. So almost all these guys have completely smashed that out of the water. So that's a personal challenge to you, Chris Caton. I know you're watching there at home. We want to remind you guys of our event sponsors today. They're not paying us to be here. They're not paying us to say their names or anything, so this is not promoted material. We just want to thank them very much for sponsoring the events and having some stuff here for our athletes to win when they do win. So we got UCAN, who has sponsored event number 1. That's the Burden Run. That was the event out there by the water. UCAN is a supplement company. They deal mainly in super starch. Carissa is one of their athletes, and she takes their stuff. Event number 2, the Barbell Breaker, which was Grace and Isabel, between you and your partner. That one is sponsored by Ascent, official sponsor of Hard Work. Burning Hands, event number 3, was sponsored by doTERRA. doTERRA provides muscle ointment and creams and stuff. Event number 4, the Triple Bear, was sponsored by Red Bars. They are here in the building as well as UCAN, handing out some free samples. So if you're filtering back into the building, be sure to stop by their table. And finally, the last event that most of our athletes are almost finished with is the final pull, sponsored by Row House, obviously, because we're sitting on the rowers out here. Roy's finishing up his last few calories. It's hard for me to see where exactly he is. Everybody else on the floor is finished. Just this last team wrapping it up. That's Roy and Zach. Looks like Zach doesn't look too keen to get back up and get back on that rower. Carissa is already furiously tabulating scores over here.
Joe, I found something out. It's amazing.
What?
Team Moro. Their names are Moro and Jose.
Oh, okay.
So we only had one athlete's name.
Yes.
I feel bad for Jose. We've been talking about
Sorry,
Moro
Jose.
this whole time.
You did very well, Jose. We only had one name on the sheet, so we were going off of what we had. There we go. That's our last athlete finish with 100 calories. That's right at the 61-minute mark, 61 minutes and about 15 seconds. Carissa, Thanks very much for joining me here on the Play-by-Play.
Joe, thanks for having me.
We are going to take a quick break. We're going to tabulate some scores, and then we'll be back. You can check back in with us in about probably like 10 or so minutes. Yeah, and then we'll see who won this thing. Thanks for hanging out.
Is this on?
That's it. There's 3 heats.
Prizes.
Hey, that's awesome. Where's Patrick?
Should we give it a Pat?
Yes. Pat is running the show. Stop him. Stop whatever he's doing, and make yourself known. right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tuning into the stream. We're actually going to announce the scores online on EVF's Instagram page. This EVF event, so you guys can find it at EVF Performance on Instagram. That's where all the scores will be posted, and the winners will be posted there. If you are one of those winning teams, welcome to come by the gym at any time and pick up your stuff. And we appreciate you guys tuning into the stream. Thank you very much. This is Joseph signing off for the Accessory Movement Podcast. Thanks again. Bye.